All right, this is the granddaddy of them all. This is the big one. This is the main event, the actual Royal Rumble match itself. 1 hour of fun right here with 30 superstars. Number 1 and number 2 come down to the ring to start off the match, and then for every 90 seconds, another competitor runs down to the ring. Every year we see some sort of Royal Rumble shenanigans that sort of steals the show. They try to, this is such a long match. They put a little comedy in there. They put a little bit of suspense in there. They always give you some sort of a good feeling with some sort of legend coming running down. We've covered so many of those. I remember last year, the Ultimate Warrior, he had already been named as the first guy to go into the Hall of Fame for last year's class of 2014 for the WrestleMania 30 weekend. But he tweeted something about the feeling of putting on the tassels and running down to the ring one more time tonight. And I remember watching the show with my friends Luke and Zach, and basically like, Warrior's coming. He said he's coming. He's not going to lie to us. The Royal Rumble, honestly, anything can happen. If you go to the WWE website and you go to the Royal Rumble page itself, they've got a list of about 13 competitors that are actually going to be in the match. Of course, we know of Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan from them announcing on television that they're going to be a part of it. Bray Wyatt did a YouTube promo hyping it up that's been on the website for a little bit. I remember going to the house show in Sacramento, California a few weeks ago. There, Rusev announced that he was going to be adding himself into the Royal Rumble since the match was canceled that he was going to have against Ryback. Ryback now having his job back with Dolph Ziggler, with Rusev. No, Rusev is not one of them. It's another R. Dolph Ziggler and Eric Rowan is the other guy that was fired by the Authority for being a part of John Cena. They haven't been added to the actual physical list, but you would think that this is going to be the first time we actually see them back in the WWE since getting their job back on Monday Night Raw, with John Cena picking up the victory over the handicap match by pinning Seth Rollins with the assistance of Sting, who came in and sidetracked Corporate Kane and Big Show. Also in the match is going to be your Intercontinental Champion, Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Goldust, Stardust, Big Show, Kane, Miz Dow, and R-Truth. Through the Raw reunion show, we saw basically the first time pumping up this match of really getting the feel of this is a really big one. You had Shawn Michaels in the ring basically saying that you needed to win a Royal Rumble to become champion. It was the exclamation point on a career. So many of the Hall of Famers that have gone in as of late were past Royal Rumble winners. If you look throughout the main event scene, Seth Rollins hasn't won one, but Brock Lesnar won one years ago, setting up his shot at WrestleMania 19. John Cena made the surprise return where he came in at number 30 when everybody thought he was still injured. Of course, he also won in 2012, setting up his match at WrestleMania 29 against The Rock. He's a two-time winner. Anybody can win this. That is the biggest the biggest surprise out of this. No matter what number you're in, if you can throw guys over the top rope, you can win this. I remember watching, Royal Rumble, I believe it was like 1990, maybe 1991, and there was a wrestler that I used to watch on Wrestling Superstars and Wrestling Challenge. He won all of his matches by throwing guys over the top rope and getting the count-out victory. His name was the Berserker. Some people might know him as just the Viking, but I always remember that when the Royal Rumble came around, I was like, this guy only wins by count-out. This guy never loses. This is the guy who's going to win it. I guarantee it. And he didn't win. He got tossed out. But that's just the way you think. It doesn't matter if you're, R-Truth. This can be the one thing that sort of resurrects your career and puts you back on top in the main event. But I don't know. When I look at this list, there's not many guys that I think that can win this. I think that Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan are your two names that can win this whole deal. I think that in my heart, I'm going to be rooting for Daniel Bryan. But in my brain, I really do believe that the easy answer for this is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has to be the victor. After seeing the Raw reunion Legends panel with Ric Flair sparring off against the Big Show, getting all fired up before getting knocked out with the knockout punch, and then Roman came running down to save Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan. You only do that for a guy that you're looking to put into the main event scene. And, Roman Reigns, for the longest time, has been looked at. You can, listen to what you heard on the CM Punk podcast on the Art of Wrestling. Basically, even at TLC, in the 3-on-1 match that CM Punk won, everyone in the world was saying, make sure you make Roman Reigns look really strong. This is the guy that, for over a year now, we've been wanting to, just push him a little bit more, get him to the point where he can become the guy. Putting Cena on a little bit of the back burner. If you can go back to think about what happened at WrestleMania 6 with the Ultimate Challenge, Ultimate Warrior was going to be the WWE champion. He was going to be the guy with the belt. Hulk Hogan, he wasn't going to be sent out to the pasture, but they were going to start using him less. But, SummerSlam rolls around, WrestleMania rolls around, Survivor Series, you have him on the show. He might not work all the house shows, but, people still come for the name Hulk Hogan. It's not like we're getting rid of him. We're just going to be letting him work a little bit less to keep him around a little bit longer. And I think that's what they're going to do with John. Basically, John will still work a good majority of Monday Night Raws. He might work a little bit less of the house shows. He might be able to go out and make a little bit more movies. He might not have to work every pay-per-view because you don't always have to have him in that main event deal. The one big complaint about John Cena is that he's always on top. He never goes away. He's always the bright light guiding WWE down the road, and people want to see something different. It's now 2015. John Cena has been on top since about at least 2005. And I mean, in 2005, people were already starting to complain about this guy. So for 10 years, people have been wanting something else to come around. And, we've seen CM Punk come up to the top. And, Brock Lesnar made a big splash by him coming back. Not really that much has changed. I mean, they've got developmental pumping up a lot of guys. Seth Rollins is in the main event here at this pay-per-view. Some people think he's got a shot at becoming the champion and being the champion at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan got his moment by getting added into the main event last year at WrestleMania and winning the big one and looking like he was going to have the biggest year of his career, but injuries and setbacks made him fall off a little bit. Daniel Bryan's going to have a huge showing in this Royal Rumble. I don't think he's going to win it. I wouldn't be surprised if, Corporate Kane is sent out on like a bonsai suicide mission, I guess you could say, by just making sure that he eliminates Daniel Bryan, even by maybe eliminating himself at the same point with like a flying cross body taking him out over the top rope. Corporate Kane, he's not going to be winning the Rumble. He's, the bottom of the totem pole, pretty much, I guess you can say, inside of the Authority. A lot of people try to pick different sort of brackets along with the Royal Rumble. If I had to pick a Final Four series of guys, I'm going to pick Roman Reigns, the Big Show. I'll pick, I don't want to pick Daniel Bryan. I don't think he's going to come down to the end because I think they want to break your heart early. But then again, if they don't have him in there, people are going to go crazy. So I'll pick Daniel Bryan and I'll pick Corporate Kane to stay in there. If you want to talk about who's going to be in there the longest, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody like The Miz. I think The Miz had the longest time in the Royal Rumble a few years ago. He's the guy that really can go. That they always try to make sure he looks good, even though he's sort of in that mid-card status, and he's been stuck in there for a long time. Royal Rumble's going to be a lot of fun. I signed up for my first Royal Rumble pool with my friends. I drew number 9 and number 10. So basically, I'm screwed. But I don't know. There's a lot of other people in there from, Kevin, Miguel, Ravi, Paul. He's got 4 numbers in there. But I'm going to be set and seeing what's going to be going. So when you're watching the Royal Rumble, I want you to tweet me when number 9 and number 10 come out and tell how foolish I was to bet $10 on this. Because I think I've already flushed the money down the toilet. My dog's flipping out. I think we had a good show here, so we're counting it down to the Royal Rumble. Of course, everybody knows Royal Rumble Sunday. You can come over to the Stevie Breach channel that night. We'll have a full-up review show. talking about all the ongoings and the new champions, maybe the cash-ins or the secret surprises, seeing if these people are going to be a one-time deal for the Royal Rumble, or if they're going to be going the whole shebang, seeing if maybe they fit into the WrestleMania puzzle. But thanks for everybody. STS Radio, signing off.